Hey guys, Foxdrop here. Hope you are having a fantastic day and you are strapped in for an exciting video learning about the best junglers in this pre-season. If learning about the strongest junglers doesn't excite you, then you probably don't need to be strapped in, but for the rest of you, we have a thrilling video in store. So pre-season 8 has been around for almost a week now, so we have access to a fair amount of data that can tell us what's good, what's not good, what's hot, what's not, what shines, what belongs in the dirt with the pigs and the Kardashians. And today I won't just be telling you what the good champions are, I'll also be showing you how to play them, so if you want to pick them up, you should be able to just from this video alone. And if you want to see some gameplay examples of how to play these champions, scour my YouTube channel because I'm going to be doing a butt ton of gameplays for Season 8, but yeah. So the first champion that's really bloody strong, Xin Zhao. If you guys watch my Road to Master series or watch my stream or kept up to date with me on my Twitter or anything like that, then you would know that I spammed the crap out of Xin to try and get Master Tier, and it almost worked. I don't even think I'm a Master Tier player. I mean, well, I didn't get Master Tier, so I guess I'm not. But I did get one win away from my Master Tier promos, and to be honest, my jungling skill overall is probably not even Diamond 1, so Xin Zhao is just that strong. Outside of a personal anecdote though, statistically speaking, Xin is crushing as well. The cool thing about Xin Zhao as well is that he seems to be crushing no matter who plays him and no matter what you run. Xin is really just a definition of an absolutely busted champion and not something that's the product of really good synergy with runes or the meta or whatever. Like Xin's win rates with Electrocute, Fleetfoot, Press the Attack, Dark Harvest, they're all really good. Press the Attack is the best one and that's the one I would recommend that you use. But seriously, I would be shocked if Xin did not get nerfed going into Season 8. So if you're looking for something to pick up that's easy to play and also quite fun if you like just going ham all the time, then Xin's a really good choice and you might want to do it sooner rather than later before he gets whacked with the nerf bat. The second champion we're talking about today is Evelynn. Now, as you guys are well aware, and unless you've been living under a rock, Eve is the most recently reworked champion in League of Legends, so it's no real surprise that people are still finding their footing on her, and we haven't really been able to get any kind of accurate information of her strength levels. But it seems as though enough time has passed and Eve is showing to be pretty bloody strong. What's interesting about Eve, however, is that she's not really that good in the average jungler's hands. Like, her universal win rate is less than 50%, and that's pretty bad. But if you get good on Eve, that win rate spikes up to almost 60%. And that's more than Xin's win rate when you're good on Xin. That's also probably reflected in the fact that Eve is much more popular and more effective in Korea as well, because you can argue that the Korean server is where, you know, the best League of Legends is played. So yeah, Eve is a good choice if you want to pick an AP assassin, and if you want to dedicate your time into learning someone, she's going to reward you for doing that. When you're playing Eve, it's not a bad idea just to focus on farming, especially before you hit level 6, and know that Eve's only real weakness are big scale team fights. The reason for that is because she's kind of useless unless she gets to pop her W on people, and if enemies are all grouped up, it can be kind of hard to do that. Also, be careful of enemy junglers that are good at getting in your face and fighting you. People like Xin, Shyvana, Shakur, Kazakhs, they dumpster Eve. So as long as you pay close attention to those cheeky little scallywags, you should be fine. Moving on to our third jungler. This one came completely out of nowhere. Kindred. Now, unlike our ponytailed Asian friend Xin Zhao, Kindred is a product of the new runes. Press the Attack is so good on Kindred, it enables her to do all of the stuff that she wants to do, and it's kind of strange to see it having such a huge impact on a champion. Like, both her win and play rates have spiked heavily with these new runes, but to be honest, it's probably about time because she spent so long being rubbish that she's due for a little bit of sunlight here. If you want to learn Kindred, you should know that her strength lies in her ability to scale up and become a carry the later the game goes on. She's not terrible in the early game, but you'll probably be better suited to just farm it out. Of course, making sure to prioritize acquiring as many stacks as you can, and then just like run at the enemy team and do some crazy stuff. In smaller skirmishes, Kindred can work as more of a assassin type champion, but the more people are around, the more you want to play like a standard carry, be a little bit safe. The next jungler we'll talk about today is probably the second strongest jungler on this list outside of Xin, because Xin's just ridiculous. Rammus. Rammus has been played and has been pretty good, honestly, for quite a while now. I consider him a little bit sleeper OP. When I was trying to climb into Master, I would often ban Rammus because he's just really irritating to play versus. And Rammus has only gotten stronger with the new runes. Specifically, the rune Aftershock, it's so good on Rammus. It turns him into this like ridiculous skirmishing champion who can basically 1v2 right from the early game. It has really good synergy with all of his abilities, especially his ultimate. He can actually pump out a crap ton of damage comparable to the actual damage junglers while being a tank. Of course, he's, you know, not like an assassin or these kind of like artillery mages when it comes to the team fights. But in smaller skirmishes where there aren't enough people to actually bring Rammus down, he can bring the enemies down instead. He also has really good matchups in the meta right now. Out of the 15 most played junglers in Korea, Rammus only has a negative win rate that's less than 50%. Against one of those junglers in the top 15, and that's Jarvan. All of the other popular junglers, Rammus takes a steaming dump on. If you want some advice on actually picking up Rammus, you can balance farming and ganking, but if an enemy player has their flash down, or they're playing a champion that doesn't have any gap closers or inbuilt escapes, if you camp that lane as Rammus, there's not really much they can do to stop you from killing them. Then outside of that, as the game goes on, you can catch people out of position with your Powerball to like initiate team fights, but just play as like this massive tank and you can't really go too wrong. Moving on to the next jungler, there are 3 junglers left that I want to talk about, guys, so if you're busting to take a piss, then you can probably hold on, but then again, you know, it's a YouTube video, so you could just pause it. That is probably better. But either way, the next jungler today, Shyvana. Kind of another one that's come out of nowhere, a little bit like Kindred. But unlike Kindred, she's not really a carry. What Shyvana's good at doing is being a huge fat off bully. Shyvana as well, despite not being a carry, does get a lot of use out of the press the attack rune, which is by far her best rune choice. The reason why it's so good on her is because she just runs at people, tags them with her E, and then just smacks them around the mouth a few times. And that basically just means that press the attack is going to be giving her a whole lot of value. It's also worth noting that your Q on Shyvana is not only an auto attack reset, but counts as 2 auto attacks as far as on hit is concerned, so you instantly pop this press the attack on Shyvana. It's really bloody strong, and as a result, Shyvana is also really bloody strong. If you want some advice on how to play her, invade the enemy jungle 24/7, find the enemy jungler, fight them, and if you don't find them, farm their jungle. Prioritize the enemy jungle over yours, put that jungler behind, and you'll be in a good spot. The penultimate jungler for this video today, guys, is going to be Kazakhs. Pretty bog standard one, honestly, here. Not much has changed from Kazakhs' Season 7 existence to his pre-Season 8 existence. The only big difference is obviously the change from Thunderlords to Electrocute. Electrocute is basically like Thunderlords, except that it's more powerful. It does more damage, but it does have a higher cooldown. But when you're looking for those one-shot assassinations, having more damage is actually a lot better. So this means that Kazakhs has more one-shot potential, more early game snowball potential, and that's really good because that's exactly what Kazakhs loves to do. Kazakhs is another one of these champions as well, where the better you get on him, you're really rewarded for it. The difference in win rate statistically between an average Kazakhs and an experienced Kazakhs is quite significant. And not only that, but if you're experienced on this champion, you will have the highest win rate out of anything that I've mentioned today. So definitely a champion that's good when you learn to master him. I do have a Kazakhs gameplay up already on this channel, so if you're interested in learning how to play him, watch that video and you should learn a thing or two, hopefully. And last but not least, Shakur. I'd say that Shakur is a decent mix between the last 2 champions we mentioned, Shyvana and Kazakhs. Shakur functions primarily as an assassin, very similar to Kazakhs, but his playstyle is a little bit like Shyvana's because he wants to invade a lot of the time. Shakur is probably the best champion on this list for really screwing over the enemy jungler. Once you get a lead on that enemy jungler, you can just like squeeze him and it's like Hodor with a tube of toothpaste. But the cool thing about Shakur as well is that not only are you very good at screwing over the enemy jungler, but you're also a very solid ganker too. And as the game goes on, you can transition into being quite a premier assassin, just running at people and one-shotting them. The only real downside to Shakur is that he's such a unique champion that you're going to have to spend a decent amount of time learning how he works before you'll be able to get results on him. But he's well worth the investment. Last season, in Season 7, he was so broken at the beginning of the season, received nerf after nerf after nerf, and was still really bloody strong for 90% of the whole season. Essentially, it's almost like he's immune to being nerfed, despite how much the Shakur mains may cry about it. So he's definitely worth your time investment. But anyway, that just about does it for this video, guys. I hope you found it useful. Cheeky thumbs up if you liked it. You can subscribe to me for more League of Legends content. Go and follow me over on Twitter at Foxdrop and my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/Foxdrop. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in my next video.